This is the 40 lecture of the Semantic SEO course, and in this lecture we will talk about further our article methodology and about the micro semantics together with the supplementary content and the answer format or the paragraph formats. As you know, in this supplementary part we use always the paragraph, and here we have the format paragraph and then the other paragraph and the other paragraph and so on. We could answer all these questions in a different formats, but we should always use the correct format of the answer on the most relevant web page, so we can directly signal the search engine that in our website the most relevant web page for this specific query is one of that which is the most comprehensive answer in a correct format. This is the little bit about passage indexing and candidate answer passage scoring. Now for example, if you have 5 web pages with a different variation, like we have the question that what are the benefits of drinking a gallon of water every day. For example, we have the question variation like 9 cup of water, half liter of water, and this type of things. Let's assume we have these 5 web pages and we have this specific question context in this specific web page, and we cover it in the web page, this specific context in a macro context, and here we just talk about it with a little bit also in a macro context. And in these web pages we talk about here, we talk about here, or we talk about it here. Now when the search engine looks at your website, the first thing they will try to understand is this specific question appear in a macro context and in the main content. If this is in the main area, they will try to understand how many times it appears in a supplementary content and in a main content. For example, this is our contextual border and these are in a supplementary content, and in these two documents we cover this specific thing in a macro context. Now if we look at this specific area, we have the two documents who have answer of this specific question in the right format, and then we see the one document is basically target the query network. So in that case we use the different variation here of the answer of this specific question because we give answer here little bit later rather than this. And one of the rules of Koray framework is that do not delay the answer and cut the fluff out. So in this case we will using the specifically correct format, whether it is a table, whether it is a list, or whether it is a main comparison paragraph, or whether it is a kinds of exact definite answer. The correct format will be need to used in that specific area, and here we give the slightly different answer or the variative answer for that specific question. Still it will not have the directly correct format. You can even see these type of things inside the calculation website, insurance website, or any kind of finance website too. For example, if I ask you to what are the types of mortgages, you give the types according to the different title of the web pages. For example, here you have the different types of mortgages, this web page, and here the direct definition of mortgages. So here you can give the sum of the types, but in the main web page where we have the different types of mortgages, you give or cover all of the types of mortgages. So this is basically depend upon what are the title of web page or what are the micro context main focus. You give the prioritization according to that. Now in that specific area we give the answer of this specific question in the best relevant and correct format, but in that area we do not go a very expandable version or not cover some aspects of that specific answer in this area. Another thing here is that our purpose is to choose the best approach to create our relevance, that is most comprehensive, accurate, and the richest answer in the correct web page. For example, let's assume that this is the query. Now search engine tries to understand, or first they try to calculate the relevance score from this web page, from this web page, and from this web page. to the query and they choose the web page who have more relevance calculation score to that specific query. If you have the featured snippet from this specific web page and from the macro context, that's good. But if you are getting the featured snippet from this specific web page and from the supplementary content where the macro context is too different from this specific question and you are getting the featured snippet from here, so it is a problem for you, which means you did not able to rank properly. That's why here we use the paragraph. So in the content briefs, we have the two types of content. One of them is structured language content and the other one is prose type language content. In a patents directly, a web page have structured language score and the prose type language score. If both is higher from the specific web page, so you will be rank higher. And as I say, I don't go further in the theories. I just want to tell the practical things. So that's why here we use the format paragraph. In the future lectures, we will look at other content briefs and then we will start to check the articles and we will compare the articles to the content brief together. We see these things into the ranking web pages and the website. Thank you.